Some people a half, some people cut it more than that, 3/4. And there are some producers that are not producing peanuts this year.
Get acquainted with Affordable Automotive in Welty. Affordable Automotive offers a full complement of service features for your car, truck, van, SUV, and other vehicles. Affordable Automotive also features a full line of famous Bridgestone tires. Stop in and check out the quality of famous Firestone and Peerless tires. Get a size and style that you need. Affordable Automotive offers towing service 24/7. Simply call 739-2290. Affordable Automotive, conveniently located in the heart of Welty.
The house rumbled. That roar like a freight train.
Got a big problem.
Alpha stepped in.
He was here on the spot.
It didn't take him no time to come in.
I just felt instant relief.
By the end of Tuesday, they had our roof back on.
And Alpha's just always been good to us, always.
They did what was right. Now what other insurance company gonna do that?
For the best agents in the business, call Talisa Scheichel in Holly Pond.
Obituary is brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Funeral services for Heather Johnson King, age 37 of Falkville, will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow at Friendship Methodist Church. The Reverend Steve Rogers and Billy Gable officiating. Interment in the church cemetery. The body will lie in state from 10 to 11 a.m. Coleman Funeral Home is directing. Heather died Wednesday at her home. Visitation will be 6 to 9 p.m. tonight at the funeral home. Michael Stephen McGee passed away Tuesday at Hansville Nursing Home. A memorial service was held Wednesday in Solid Rock Baptist Church in Cold Springs. Dan Anderson officiated. Burial will be at a later time in Florida. Funeral services for Hattie Upchurch, age 83 of Black Lick, Ohio, formerly of Coleman, will be at 1 p.m. on Monday at Fairview First Baptist Church. Pastor Ron Whitner officiating. Interment in the church cemetery. The body will lie in state from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the church. Coleman Funeral Homes directing. Mrs. Upchurch passed away on Monday. And those are our obituaries brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Premier Bank presents Today on 2. We are broadcasting live at channel2coleman.com. And of course, we archive our programs on the same website, and you can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Well, Tawny, are you ready for a rainy weekend?
I guess, if I have to be, if that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to take the rain.
Like we have a choice?
Yeah, really. I'd much rather have the rain than the cold, so I'm not going to complain.
Okay. Well, I think we are going to see considerable rain this weekend, although much milder temperatures than we've had. Let's start with our weather forecast, which is brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. Make the switch to Mitch. Here's the weather almanac for the 28th of March in Cullman, Alabama. The average high temperature is 70. The average low is 41. The record high 85 in 2004. The record low 19 in 1955. Sunset will occur at 5 minutes after 7. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:40. Now we'll check the satellite picture and see what's going on around the country. A lot of precipitation, especially in the eastern part of the country. It looks like rain about everywhere. And especially when you look to our part of the country, there you can see the satellite picture. Rain moving through the area, and like I say, it's going to look like a rainy weekend. Here's our forecast. 100% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. A high near normal, 69 degrees today. Showers and thunderstorms continuing tonight, low around 56. And maybe tomorrow morning will be the end of it. 50% chance of rain in the morning tomorrow with a high of 68. Sunday looks pretty good. Sunny with a high of 68. Monday, 73. Tuesday, 74. Wednesday, 74. And Thursday, 75. So a little bit of rain, and then April.
April. Yay. Then it can
We're getting
actually
the
start
April
raining.
showers in the end of March.
Yeah, maybe that means we won't get any in April.
Well, that would be okay, or at least a little bit once in a while.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, let's check our Facebook friend of the day. Good friend of ours.
Ron Seabold, excuse me, I can't speak. He likes Lost and he likes Rock the South. So we're going to be giving him that large barbecue sandwich from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue.
And of course, this is Friday. That's politics. Who's our guest for today?
Melvin Hastings just walked in the door, so he's going to come and visit with us today.
Okay, Melvin Hastings is here. Tom Drake and George Spear will be talking to Melvin. And we'll continue with more of Today on 2 right after this.
We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
We continue with more of Today on 2. This part of our program, we have some prizes we sure would like to give away if you know the answer to our question about our merchant ads. And our prizes for today, 15% off of any purchase at It's My Party. We also have 2 tickets to the Kiwanis Club Pancake Day, which is coming up a week from tomorrow, Saturday, April the 5th. And we have the large pizza from Papa Murphy's, Taking Baked Pizza. Good prizes for today. And here we go with our merchant ads. Of course, we'll ask you a question about one of these ads, and then you win all 3 of our prizes. So let's see, we start with Tires for Less, which is more than just tires. They do oil changes, minor engine repair, replace shocks and brakes. Tires for Less is on Highway 31 North, just past 157.
Alabama Sunrooms and Awnings, sunrooms and screen rooms. They do patio and deck coverings, awnings, metal roofs, vinyl siding, garages and buildings, and they give free estimates. If they do it, it is built right. So you can visit them at builtrightawnings.com.
Cotton State Barns of Cullman, you can buy or rent to own carports, play sets, utility trailers, and storage buildings. No credit check, you're approved. Cotton State Barns of Cullman on Highway 278, just west of the interstate.
And then The blizzard of the month of March is Mint Oreo, and you're in your last couple of days to get that. So if you want one of those, run by Dairy Queen and Coleman before it's too late.
Cups Accounting and Tax Service says they have quality service at reasonable rates. Check with Cups before you pay too much. Cups Accounting and Tax Service will figure your taxes and do the electronic filing.
And BeFit is located next to Renard's Gallery and Gifts. You can change your life and body. There's no contract. It's $50 a month, and that includes a personal trainer.
Earl's Body Shop, voted best towing service, celebrating 50 years of serving you. Earl's Body Shop, of course, does auto body repair, but they do towing, large or small, local or long distance. Check out their website, earlsbodyshop.com.
And Yates Chance Christian Bookstore is sending you Easter blessings. They want to remind you Easter is on the way, so anything you need for that, whether it's for a Sunday school lesson or someone's special's Easter basket.
Mr. Hicks Menswear has your prom tuxedos. Come and see the latest prom looks and, of course, tuxedos for weddings as well. Mr. Hicks Menswear on Compass Way.
And Hansville Pizza Hut, they have a lunch buffet every day from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they're giving an extra 10% off for Wallet State students. All you have to do is show them your student ID, and they are located across from the college.
Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue features the family barbecue pack. A pound of barbecue, 2 sides and 4 buns, priced at just $13.99. Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue at the Berlin Quick Stop.
Barnett Tax Service. Miss Elna Barnett is located just 1 block north of the post office there on Main Avenue. She's been serving Coleman for 41 years and no appointment is necessary. You can just walk on in and she will handle that for you. So go pay her a visit.
There we go, the merchant ads for today. Question for today is about Holly Mullins. She is the person to call for which one of our advertisers? Holly Mullins is the person to call at which advertiser? And let's see, the prizes for today, 15% discount at It's My Party, tickets to Kiwanis Club Pancake Day, and the large pizza from Papa Murphy's Pizza. Yeah. Those are the prizes.
Sounds good.
Our phone number is 256-734-7399. Go ahead and call in while we watch Money Matters, brought to you by Premier Bank.
We here at Premier Bank are here to serve you. We know that at some point in your life, you're going to need money to help that child go to college, or that child who has health problems, or you might need money for your retirement years. Please come by and see us and we'll talk to you about how to put money away.
Once again, our question for today is about which advertiser is Holly Mullins, the person to talk to, and I believe we have a caller ready to go. So let's see if we can give away our prizes for today. Hello, who's calling? From where are you calling? Here in Coleman. Okay, what is the name of the business that Holly Mullins represents? Jolly Time Rentals is the right answer. Stay on the line, please. Thanks for calling in. Yes, Holly Mullins is at Jolly Time Rentals. Let's show you that ad. And, of course, the rest of our merchant ads right now. There we go. Jolly Time Rentals, where fun is always in the air. The phone number is 256-620-JOLLY. They have those big toddler interactive bounce slides and all sorts of things.
Hankey Service Center, they do automotive repairs, new tires, and they pump your gas for you. They're located at the Exxon across from the North Coleman Shopping Center.
It's My Party, where you can get balloons in all shapes and sizes. Anything you need for any type of a party, It's My Party, located on 2nd Avenue Southeast, across from Sacred Heart Church.
And Alabama Sunrooms and Awnings, they do sunrooms and screen rooms. If they do it, it is built right. They give free estimates, so you can call them at 256-739-6220 or visit them on the web at builtrightawnings.com.
And Brown & Company Beverages has a toast to fine wines and beverages. Of course, they have beer, they have wine, and they have cider. Brown & Company Beverages on Highway 157.
Mullins Body Shop, you've counted on them for over 50 years to do your towing and your auto body repair, and you can still count on them. You can give Sunny, Stacy, Beth, or Jim a call at 256-734-1353.
Deb's Bookstore is your hometown bookstore just down the road. Browsers always welcome. Thousands and thousands of books available. Used books half price every day at Deb's Bookstore.
The Candle Garden, they offer hand-poured candles and over 50 luscious fragrances, and I'm sure they've got some new gift items in for spring. So you can go check them out at their new location, which is just down the road next to Moe's Barbecue.
And the Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center has a variety of classes, aerobic, cycling, and Zumba classes. Of course, the indoor walking track and indoor pool. Day passes are available at the Wellness and Aquatic Center.
Grand Point Pharmacy, they are the original home of the Two Old Goats, which is an arthritis and fibromyalgia product line. They're open 7:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and they do accept third-party insurance.
Barnett Tax Service. Elna Barnett can do your tax returns and the electronic filing. She also does bookkeeping, including preparing your W-2s and 1099s. That's Barnett Tax Service.
Auto Tech Repair and Service. They are TechNet Professional Auto Service, and they can do pretty much anything you need them to do on your car. They're engine repairs, transmission and brake repair on foreign and domestic vehicles, and they're located in Piedmont.
There we go with the merchant ads for today, and at this part of our program we look at the birthdays and give away our birthday cake, the ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. So let's see who's celebrating a birthday, starting with today.
Okay, today we have Trey Phillips, Stacy Pearson, and Tracy Smith here on Friday. And Saturday we have Calvin Key celebrating a birthday, and on Sunday we have BJ Dye and Clay Pearson. So happy birthday to every one of you.
And of course our prize is the ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. So let's see who our winner is for today. It is Calvin Key. Calvin's birthday coming up tomorrow.
Just in time for a celebration.
That's right. And a reminder that we also have a prize for anniversaries. Don't have any anniversaries for this week, but that's a gift certificate from the Candle Garden. We'll have more of Today on 2 right after this.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Now it's time for our community reports, which are sponsored by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. And Coleman Strawberry Fest, the 5K and the 10K run, they're Saturday, May 10th. It's going to be at 8 a.m. at the Coleman Fest Hall. To participate in the 5K is $25 and the 10K is $30. And Impact 127 is collecting school supplies, dental supplies, eyeglasses, and lightweight children's shoes for an upcoming mission trip, and they'll be accepting those until April 17th. You can drop off any donations you want to make in a bag at Happy Homes Real Estate. That is on 2nd Avenue Southeast in Coleman. And Coleman Kiwanis Club 58th Annual Pancake Day, like we were talking about earlier, is a week from tomorrow. It'll be April 5th at the Coleman High School cafeteria from 6 a.m. until noon. It's just a $7 donation, and drive-through pickups are available. And the New York Theater Ballet is performing for the Coleman Community Concert Series, and that'll take place Sunday, April 6th at 4 p.m. It'll be at the Betty Lee Haynes Theater on the Wallace State campus. April walking tours are every Saturday in April beginning at 10 a.m. at the Coleman County Museum, and the walking tour is free. And Share Club of Coleman is sponsoring a tour of homes on Sunday, April 27th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's just a $15 donations, and proceeds of this event will benefit the Hospice of Coleman County. By recycling your aluminum cans through the Coleman Animal Shelter, you can help them provide for their homeless animals. They've got a recycling bin at their location, and all donations are going to be welcome. And the Donald E. Green Senior Center in Coleman, just a reminder, is closed until Monday, March 31st because they are repairing the roof. If you have a community billboard you'd like to share with us, just email us at channel2Coleman@gmail.com. You can leave it to us by phone at 256-734-7399 or be our friend on Facebook at Channel 2 Coleman.
Weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. A rainy weekend. 100% chance of showers and thunderstorms today, a high of 69. 90% chance of rain tonight, low of 56. And a 50% chance of rain tomorrow morning with a high near 68.
Telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
All right, welcome to That's Politics. Mr. Drake and I, welcome to our show. Republican candidate Melvin Hastings running for representative.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Melvin, for coming to see us.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it.
You one of them old Vinemonth boys, ain't you?
I am one of the Vinemonth boys.
One of them Vinemonth Eagles?
Vinemonth Eagles. I grew up on the Eva Highway.
Yeah,
and,
right.
that's kind of where I moved back again. Moved out off the Eva Highway. So.
Well, let me ask you, Melvin, what's the legislature done for you lately? Or what, in terms of all these things they've dealt with? And there are a lot of issues. You know, voter identification, of course, that law was passed, I say it was law that was passed a couple of years ago, maybe it was, and requiring people to have voter ID before they vote. That's one of the things they've dealt with, the right to carry a loaded pistol in your vehicle. Give me some of your thoughts on some of those issues.
I guess the ideas behind them are good. The voter ID, the purpose is to help combat voter fraud, make sure there's not voter fraud, so I think that's a good idea. I don't know that it inhibits anybody from voting, as long as people's rights are not infringed, that's the main thing, so far voter ID is good. The pistol thing, it's fine. I'm 100% for gun rights. I believe you shouldn't have any laws that prohibits you from carrying gun rights, but I know that there are some people that have some issues with not having permits. I pay $15 a year for my permit. It doesn't bother me because I know it's going to the sheriff's department. As long as it's been used by the sheriff's department appropriate, that's fine with me. I don't mind having a permit.
Yeah.
But I know there are some people that probably have some issues with not having permits.
You think the mentally ill should have guns?
No, sir. I believe that's what Tom. They a lot of these shootings and stuff, the mass shootings. I think they find out that the people that's doing the shootings are mentally ill. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, in the permits, it deals with mentally ill. It deals with felons. I know a lot of the law enforcement have looked at permits. As a way, if you have a pistol, if you have a permit, they can pretty well, not 100% be sure, but be pretty well sure that you're not a convicted felon, carrying a pistol. So we'll see if it gets through. I know it's made it through the Senate. It has got to make it through the House, I think, and then the governor's got to sign it.
The issue of the permits and the issue of not having to have a permit is something that's it's significant for a sheriff, because a sheriff charges whatever amount of money they charge for a permit, and that money is used in a discretionary fund, so to speak, to buy vehicles for the sheriff's department, but that would take away from that. Now, I heard one of the candidates for sheriff say that when Tyler Roden left office, he left in the pistol permit fund about $1 million.
Yes.
And that is a great source for things that the sheriff's department needs, but that would not be available if everyone had the right to carry a weapon. I don't know. You can argue that thing till you're blue in the face, probably.
Yes, sir. You know, and the Senate bill that's passed, 'cause I try to keep up with currently what's going on in the legislature, but the Senate bill that was passed, there's an amendment to it that says that the funds that's received won't be affected. I don't. Does it explain? I can't explain things they do down there, and I think if you ask them, they couldn't explain why they do things they do.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I can remember that a day when Grant Waltrip was sheriff when you couldn't get a gun permit.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Now, was that something that was strictly Coleman County, or was it
Well,
state?
Coleman County, yeah. It was Coleman County, yeah. Grant Waltrip didn't believe people had
But
it.
other folks could in other counties?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that right?
See, that's a problem. That is a problem. You cannot, our Constitution says that your rights to bear arms cannot be infringed.
Yeah.
So that is a problem when you do that. As long as people have access, law-abiding citizens, to have a weapon, that you need a permit. If it requires a permit, then that's fine. But when you start having issues with people not being able to get permits, then that gets to be a problem. Yes, sir.
The argument over a common core,
yes, sir,
to maintain it or toss it aside, is one that the legislature has yet to be able to decide or to resolve. What are your thoughts about what is taught to our children regarding a system that basically regulates to some degree, some say more than others, what children are taught in Alabama schools and in our county? Common Core, give your thoughts about that program.
Unfortunately, Common Core has become a political hot button, so I guess it depends which side of the aisle you're on, if you support it, if you don't support it. My understanding of Common Core is that before it was adopted, the State Board of Education gave plenty of opportunities for people to come down, make decisions on it. Apparently there wasn't too big of a fuss about it. They adopted it. The idea behind Common Core is to have a set of standards that nationwide, any state, if you graduate from high school in any state, that you meet this certain set of standards. So the idea behind it's good. The problem is, how do you get there? And I think a lot of concern is it changes. It changes the idea about the way you do things. So it's tough for the educators, schools, superintendents, I know, to do it. Some like it, some don't. I know it's a big deal. They're the ones that have to deal with it every day. So I think when the legislature is making a decision about it, you have to listen to the educators, because we can pass bills all day long. They're the ones that they have to deal with it daily. You have to listen and see if there's some things. Now then.
So you would go to the legislator, to the educators to see what they thought was right.
Yes. Yeah. How is it working? What can we do? What can we do to make this better? Now then, remember that the goal behind Common Core is to have states meet a set of standards. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking, and that's so that when business comes in, that they can say, hey, people in Alabama can pass math tests just as good as people in New York or in California or Kansas or wherever else. And maybe even science to an extent ought to be in there. But now when you get into social studies and you get into some of our history, that's where it gets to be a problem, because people don't want the federal government dictating what we teach our children about social studies. And depending on your Congress and your president, mm-hmm. I don't know that I want it either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you have to. We're conservative. Y'all know that here in Coleman County.
Right.
Most people here, probably 99%, don't believe in gay marriage. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you don't want the federal government saying you have to teach your children that gay marriage is all right.
Right.
That's the problem, and that's the problem people see. So I think our legislature has to keep an eye on what we're taught. Make sure the State Board of Education is doing what they're doing, and your local Board of Educations, they determine the textbooks and stuff. When the federal government starts mandating what textbooks you use, that's when it gets to be scary.
Well, what do you think about the legislature at this time and their relations to education?
Well, it's a political. Tom, you was there too. You was there for 32 years. You know the way it is. It is a political issue. And unfortunately, they like making it as a Republican or Democrat issue. And these educators, they don't care. They don't care if you're Democrat. They don't care if you're Republican. They don't care if you're independent. I've been out and talked to tons of them, a bunch of them. That's just one group of people I've talked to, but they're independent voters, and they want someone that cares about them, that cares about the kids, that's committed to doing what's right for the kids, because education is you have to have it. It is very important. You do not have an educated public, you're not going to have jobs. You're not going to have good paying jobs. You'll have the ditch digging jobs, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get the highly technical jobs that we need. So education is very important.
All right, given our current representative, you'll be running against the incumbent, Mac Buttram, right?
No, Ed Henry.
Ed Henry, I'm sorry.
Yes,
that's
sir.
right. What has he voted for that you didn't think should be? Because obviously if you're going to run against him, you feel you can do a better job. So quantify that for us.
I haven't really kept up with a lot of what he's voted for. I know that Mr. Henry he wants to be very conservative, and he probably is very conservative, and he votes very conservative, and that's fine. I'm gonna vote conservative. But I think the difference is when I'm out across District 9 and I'm asking people, what do you expect? What do you want? What is needed? They say they want someone to listen.
Yeah.
They just want someone to listen. They want to have a legislature that they can call on the phone, and he's going to listen to them. He's not going to be rude to them, and he's going to go down there and do what they want to do, what they want him to do, because he's a representative of the people, not what people in Montgomery wants him to do.
Yeah.
They feel like he's disconnected from our area.
We just wish that we could get him to return to our program. I think he showed up once, possibly, back a year or two ago. But I think that there's a sort of a callousness that's developed among some of the candidates and incumbents that they don't have to answer.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate you coming in this morning and telling us your views. You're rather candid, Melvin. I mean, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
About some of these things, because people want to know, what do you feel about this? You know, the idea of abortion. I mean, the idea of, for example, the heartbeat rule, or whatever it is they call that, regarding before a woman can have an abortion. If there's a heartbeat, you can't have it because it's already established it's a person inside there. What are your views on that issue?
That issue sounds good, and I am opposed to abortion as a contraceptive. I think that anything you can do to prevent a person, and I'm talking about a female, of course, because she's the one that's pregnant, from using abortion as a contraceptive tool, I'm against. But now, let's be realistic. There are some, the laws that they're trying to pass, if they say you cannot abort a baby when it has a heartbeat, there are some significance about that. I think you have to be careful in that law, and you have to have a good crafted law, because there may be some situations, and I'll give you an example. I'm here in an ambulance, go down the highway now. I'll give you a situation. I was a paramedic for a long time, and I know a girl that I had picked up one time, took to the hospital. She was having severe abdominal pain, and we thought she had appendicitis. Ended up having a tubal pregnancy, and that baby had got big enough where it ruptured her tube, and she was bleeding to death on the inside. Now then, if this law was in effect, if that child or that fetus had a heartbeat, that fetus is not going to survive being a tubal pregnancy. But if he had a heartbeat, it was going to be, with the current law, it was going to be a Class C felony for a doctor to abort that child. So it may be that the doctor, not doing an abortion as a contraceptive, but doing it as an abortion to save this girl's life, would have to wait.
Yeah.
And he would be scared, okay? So you have to be careful when you're passing these laws that sound good. Nobody, again, we're conservative in Alabama. We're conservative in this district. Nobody agrees with abortion as a contraceptive, and I absolutely did not do it. But when you're writing laws like that, you got to make a law that fits everybody. And second of all, you got to write a law that's constitutional. We can pass these laws. We can jump up and down and say, "Hey, we passed a law. It's great. I'm pro-life. I'm fighting abortion." And then the day you pass a law, just like the current law they passed last year, it's not even enforceable because the federal courts have already stepped in and said and then stopped it. They filed an injunction on it, and it's on hold. And we're going to spend tons of money fighting laws that's probably not enforceable.
We're running out of time. Tell us why we should vote for Melvin Hastings come this next election season.
George, as I told you, I am committed to doing what's right. I am not scared to take on people, and I'm not ashamed to tell the truth. And I'm going to go to Montgomery I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask questions of legislators, and I'm going to encourage them to ask questions of legislators, of themselves and of legislators. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? How can we do better? You know, let's not go down there and think we got to pass laws every day and that's part of our job. Because that is important. You have to pass laws, but you also have to take care of the budget. And I think that there are some ways that if somebody's committed to doing right, that we can get down there and look at that budget, see where we're spending money, make sure we're spending money right, and help Alabama better. And that's what I'm committed to doing.
Thank you, Melvin.
I appreciate it,
Thank you,
George.
Mr. Drake.
Yes, sir.
For today on 2, that's
Drake.
politics.
And finally, at the end, she agreed. She understood what I was saying, so I'm not going to lie to him.
Well, your main advisor, I don't know what he thinks